Well, federal judges recently ruled that the Trump administration must fund the SNAP program, at least in part, even as the government shutdown drags on. Our Washington correspondent Brendan Scanlon, he's live tonight in Capitol Hill on day 34 of the government shutdown. Brendan, what's the latest on this?
Hey there, Nick. Good evening. The administration saying today that it will partially, not fully, but partially fund SNAP benefits for this month. Again, SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, this comes as after two federal judges ruled last week that the government is required to provide at least some funding, some benefits for the millions of Americans who rely on it despite the federal government shutdown.
The stories from the weekend were shameful, sickening. People overwhelming food banks, handing out groceries in lieu of Halloween candy.
Federal judges in Massachusetts and Rhode Island last week directed the Trump administration to use a $5 billion emergency fund to cover part of SNAP payments for November. It's a program that usually needs more than $8 billion each month.
A lot of people who are elderly or caretakers, people with disabilities, but then also just a lot of people who work but just don't make enough money to make ends meet.
The USDA had planned to freeze payments starting on Saturday, saying it could no longer fund the program because of the shutdown.
It's actually kind of strange that USDA would say that because the contingency fund was created for this and funded for this purpose, that when it does lapse, then you'd have this money.
But now the agency is set to move forward with partial payments for the program that supports nearly 42 million Americans, with an average monthly benefit of just under $200. A court order from Saturday directs the administration to provide the funding by Wednesday. However, it's unclear when those funds will show up. In some states, the process of reloading SNAP cards can take up to 2 weeks.
Millions, Mr. President, are now at risk of going hungry. And yet the Democrat shutdown marches on.
Democrats say the administration could tap into another $23 billion fund to avoid cuts altogether.
Providing partial benefits is not enough, is not compliant with the law, and it's particularly cruel of Trump with the Thanksgiving season around the corner.
And Nick, as the shutdown nears record length, millions are still waiting and worrying about how they're going to put food on the table now and in the days ahead. Several states have actually boosted funding for food banks to try and help those who are simply out of options. Reporting live on Capitol Hill for WENY News, I'm Brendan Scanlon. Nick, back to you.